nobody got time for that.
I'm gonna act like a clit and disappear for a while because I know nobody will find me. Guys, masturbation is great. Okay? I'm not even going to. I'm no longer a virgin without using those words because I also find it.
Definitely moist, wetter,
By default, you wet.
It's so tricky.
Yeah.
Especially, that's why I don't think I'm a one-night stand kind of girl.
Yep.
Even with penetrative sex, I think I had a conversation.
The penetration happened for the first time, and there was like in my head. I was like, oh,
me orgasm.
Okay.
Orgasm. So
Heavy on that. The only thing I would probably tell my younger self is wait until you're 24, girl. Don't talk about this. See about
not you sizing your.
Okay, so growing up.
Lesbian and gay community and health center. How may I help you today?
Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you?
To be honest, I'm not okay. Hey, I've just been in a situation where I felt like my rights as a woman and a human have been violated. I'm really hoping that I could get some sort of assistance.
Sure. I'm so sorry you've experienced that. One of our objectives, of course, as the center is to provide psychosocial and personal counseling to some of the things that people are going through. But first, I would have to know what happened.
Sure. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I feel safer already. Okay, so today's weather was not so great. Our management decided that it was best for us to go home early to avoid any kind of accidents or whatever on the road. So I take public transport, and I was in the bus this afternoon, and as it stopped to pick up more passengers, I looked out the window, I noticed that...
So these three drunk guys, they come into very fastly, and I'm just like, ooh, there's going to be somebody's problem, can't be somebody, it's you. So basically, just to cut a long story short, one of the three decided to use me as a platform to show off to his other two friends. So uyashayela and lapho ibhasi isigcwele ifulo lephunga lotshwala, and this person is right next to me, by the way. Yes. And umngane wakhe lokho emshusha naye engqugquzela sitting behind me. So you can imagine mostly ibhasini, the person that's talking directly behind you. This is my head. This is his mouth, like right here. So I'm smelling everything. Already that's a violation. Yes. To my lungs. That is a straight up violation. And then umngane wakhe oh yena ushelayo uthi awucomba impinanga yakho. Agcine got to the point where I was just like, ngithule njani. Yeah. So it got to the point where I'm just like, okay, this person is harassing me, wanting my number, basically forcing it out of me. Yeah. Ngithuli, and he just keeps egging himself on with his supporter and saying no harm. And another thing, about doing conversation. So I'm the spectacle. Yeah, you're feeling self-conscious as well. I'm very self-conscious. I don't know what to do. Yeah. So the frame of context, if I say so it's kind of new music like really loud. Yeah, so he's screaming now. He's screaming in my ear, loud enough for everyone else to hear. And there was an opportunity where the music stops. Yeah. So I turn around and I look at him, and I'm just like, okay, how do I get him to shut up? So I attack his masculinity. Yeah. Ngithi mina ukuthi lento yenzayo kumina ngumuntu wesifazane ayibonati indoda ayenzi lento. The sign, you could hear a pin drop because now yena-ke ubekade is elevated. So the minute I attacked udoda rakhe, he was just like, none of my friends, bro. Yeah. So then uthule bengahlangeke. So immediately I was like, yes, I did it. And bear in mind, I was wearing my headphones. So I'm like, hey, yeah, like this is the color of my headphones. And if I get this, so the contrast between the two colors, but this person is not in the space with me. Yeah. So uthule for like 30 seconds. I said, I'm sorry. Okay, so I mean, wait, the attack that came after that, the verbal attacks, it went from praising me to attacking me. So this is the reason why you're going to die alone. Your kids, you're going to see your kids being successful, getting married and having their own children, while you're just going to be like a spinster for the rest of your life. You're probably going to only stay with cats. Like I was being at like left, right, and center. Like they made me feel so small.
Yeah.
And I think they started getting more aggressive because Manja I'm not also responding.
Yes.
So they told me to each other about me on top of being inebriated. And this person that they took is not saying anything.
Yeah.
Nothing But then their other friend, Shuti, and I'm so grateful for him. He stood up for me, like in his drunken sense, but he was just like, guys, that's enough. Like you can see which she's uncomfortable. For like a little bit. So they stopped attacking me and they started talking about me to each other. And then this was the music at the end has stopped, so like everybody can hear what's going on. And then like I'm not responding, so I'm so with my journey of self-discovery, it has helped me to not respond. Past me, then today I want to it's one of my headphones. Who's going to be my first victim between the two? Because I would have jumped on one of them. And luckily, I was wearing nothing that was like grabbable or anything like that. It was just like t-shirts and jeans. So I probably would have won.
Yes, and they're intoxicated.
They drank as well. So it's not so bad. So like for real. But then because of the journey that I have taken, I was just like, first of all, these people are not in their right mind. Everything that they're saying about me is a verbal insecurity that they have. And because they're now trying to bring back their grace as men, I guess. So I think with my self-discovering, it was initially I think that's what it is. Because now you're also telling people, I am a woman. And even though they overpower me with their strength. So now the extra was to ensure my safety at the end of the day. Because as much as it passed me what is the percentage of people that are actually going to help you? Because with the way that I also responded, maybe it's there's not much that they can help me with. But in terms of self-discovery, the journey that I've taken, that has helped me a lot with conflict resolution, I guess. So I'm a lot calmer now. As much as that in that moment, and let's say into reflection, I'm just like, wow, that actually hurts. Like everything that was being said to me, but I'm so glad that I didn't react
at the time.
To it, because basically, but is
it wrong to react during the time if you feel Mutumundu is not being good to you? Is it wrong to react?
I guess it depends on you, hey?
Yeah.
Like, I can take this person. Then by all means, take them. But you don't want those consequences, because you never know. And that was it. Now that's hanging over your head, and your life is just going to be destroyed because you were reacting to an instigation that was put on you. What was today now?
I think for me, like journaling has really helped me find myself. I remember honestly, like I remember before journaling, I'd have all these emotions and all these thoughts, but I didn't know how to address them or talk to anyone about them, especially with the emotions. And through writing, through really reading it, those pages later on, because you can read them after maybe a month or a year or whatever.
That's one thing I haven't done.
Really? No, you have to, because then you reflect. Also, when you reflect on your journaling process, you figure out that there's things that don't trigger you as much as they used to trigger you, or at all. Whereas before you start journaling or before you start writing, those things would be constant triggers.
Yep.
Whether Umundu said something about like your dad in my case, I'd be like, why am I being triggered by this emotion? Whereas I had no relationship with this person. But discovering myself now, I have that sort of thought of I don't need to discover it. Yeah, so you know, in terms of finding myself and journaling, that has really helped me. You know, yeah. So for me, that's been.
When did you start journaling?
I started last year, to be honest, like end of last year. Yeah, it was just a process of I was ready to start writing my thoughts and my feelings down.
Okay, so you were saying that your journey your journaling process only started last year.
Yeah.
I think mine, in high school, did die. I think it's always been something subconsciously, a bit like a comedianza. But now that I'm really into it, high emotion, the ball is really rolling. It's doing its own thing. Obviously, I'm not going to jot things down on a daily basis. Yeah. And I also don't want to wait for something dramatic to happen in order for me it's okay, now I've got a proper story instead of no, it's just however I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little off, not knowing why, but I think my journal journey started back in high school. I had like random diaries, and this is what a classic what the day is, ufake date, ufake mood, ufake color, ufake song, animal, pet, and then umbhalele nje ungamaki story esincanyana, then you ufake kwilokhaya ukuthi isibani you've got mail, you know, just the interaction. It was nice. It made me feel good whenever I got a letter back. So I think with my growing into adulthood in the corner, I thought instead of writing other people letters, let me write letters to myself. There's no set format on how I do it. I think there's also the myth that when you journal, you need to have different colors, you need to put stickers in, you make it look aesthetically pleasing. And no, it's literally as raw as you want to be and can be, because this is your own personal letter. Yeah, it's not like most of the group value you handing it into the teacher for marking. So just be as honest as possible. And but I feel like because you know, like my mom knows it.
Sorry guys.
So into it's constantly with me, it's everywhere I go. So yeah, I think maybe like 2-3 times a week.
Oh, okay, that's a lot.
2-3 times a week.
But do you have a set time to journal?
I don't know. But what I do is I'll write the date, obviously, and then I'll write the time that I started journaling. Okay. Because sometimes I also get lost in journaling. Okay, there's this one matter that is on my mind that I think I need to release from my brain and put it on the pages. And then maybe something else comes up, and then next thing I know, like 6 pages. Wow. And now those 6 pages, he's signed and I'm not typing, so it does take a while. And he's kind of hard, and I'm just like, maybe was 6, for example. Next thing I realized, he's like, 8. Wow. I've been writing for 2 hours, and the clarity that comes afterwards.
And the peace.
Oh my gosh. You know, guys, they say they've got post-nut clarity after they have sex.
Yeah.
I have post-journal clarity, because I'm just like, it feels, if I can put it in a perspective of colors, when I've got too much congestion that needs to come out of me, I feel like the color that I can resonate with is red. Like, it's just, there's so much going on, and like my brain is like jumbled up. It's like mental spaghetti that needs to like come out. And then by the time I'm finished, I feel like a cool blue. Like, wow, it went from here to just here. Yeah. And then now I also notice the way in Kumanayuma, like after journaling, I'm so much more calm. But sometimes I find myself snapping at her, because obviously there's something that needs to like come out. So guys, please journal. Yeah, it's very in any capacity. And you feel some type of way, you need a tea break or bottom break, take your journal with you, but even if it's like 2 sentences, talking about the printer and the printer just being randomly attacked, just to get it out of the system, it really is such a good approach, and I recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, because when you were younger, you didn't understand that. Like, journaling was something impactful and something that would actually help you. Yes, you'd write dear diary, I had a bad day at work or whatever, or in school, sorry.
Yeah.
But then it didn't really resonate as to how that would help you further into, you know, your life now, actually.
Yes.
Because we just write as you know, like my little storybook, my little secret. Maybe if you had a crush on someone, you just write about that. But not really discovering that this is who I am becoming every day, and this is how my life is going to be.
Yeah. And I don't know for you, but do you find yourself in a situation where you're just like, I don't actually think I'm going to tell my friends about this?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just keep it to myself. It doesn't matter what level of
friendship
you have, or like how angry, sad, or whatever you may be. Because as listening to your house, I feel some type of way. Do you have some time? Yes, just talk. And sometimes it's just like, nah, this one I don't need to burden them with this. Nah,
independent with myself, writing. It's also through therapy as well. I don't know if like a lot of people also go through therapy. That also helps with discovering yourself, because having someone who has a different opinion of you outside your friendship, your relationship, or your mother or your father or whoever, having a soundboard of someone completely different helps you out in that self-discovery, because you have exercises that you have to do. Right? Having to write down your feelings, your true feelings. And what I actually picked up on therapy recently, and I think I shared it with you, was the wheel of emotions.
Yes.
And how that impacts us greatly every day, and we didn't even notice, you know, like you think, oh, I'm just sad, but it's actually probably anxiety or fear or processing other emotions. So that for me really opened my eyes up to emotions.
I do that, I think it's through personal training, subconsciously a lot now.
Okay.
Because there's certain things, like we mentioned before, that will trigger you and you don't know why. So then I sit also, whatever I'm doing, like you on the toilet, I sit with myself and I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Okay, let's unpack this while I unpack my bowels. Let's unpack this and see what's like a random comment. Something this is actually playing on my mind for a while. And then you get to take those necessary steps, and that also helps Nicole, because as much as we're talking about journaling, that Sisa winner, but is an abantu that are in your life now. Yes. Because the way you can now conduct yourself will also reflect in how you communicate and treat your friends, family, and loved ones.
Absolutely. I think absolutely. It benefits everyone in your group, in your circle. Yeah. You're able to share your emotions and share what you've gone through, so that they can also discover themselves. You know. So
and they can tell the end of it. They're really easy. I'm joining class, guys. I'm going to
like an hour meditation.
You know, but because a lot of people do talk about therapy. As much as you can talk to yourself, yes, that's fine, of course, because you do the self-reflection and nobody knows yourself better than you, of course. But you do need that soundboard. But as much as you call it a soundboard, it's also talking to somebody who is not afraid to challenge you. Yes. Because you can journal and you can have the self-talks, but you sometimes need umuntu also push out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Because you can say, I know, Mina, I journal, I can now recognize ABC in regards to my feelings. But also, like, also going to be dizzy.
And you can't need to process.
Oh, we're fighting now. Yeah, I'm paying you to help me, but now it feels like you're in a
why are you discovering?
No, so, yeah, like not so loud.
Yes.
Like lower the volume. So I want to do that. I want to hypnotherapy.
Oh gosh, I've never tried that. Yeah,
that's another thing.
Okay, but let's
to
just go back to therapy. For me, as a black woman, I'm going to use that context. As a black woman, we don't share or talk about therapy or going to therapy as often as maybe a white woman would.
No, that's true.
Therapy. And that is still part of self-discovering, how therapy can help you discover yourself. But we always think, oh, you're weak when you go to therapy. Oh, your mind is not processed, or you're not fit to be a mom or a daughter or whatever because you need therapy now. But it's really a context of you've never been brought up with. Let's go to therapy to sort out all your mental issues.
You're so right about the black woman thing. You just felt like you are strong.
Yeah.
Black women are strong.
Black men and black women.
That's not a compliment if you think about it. Like, help me.
Help me.
Why must I be the one who faces every single challenge and then yes, I might come out successful in the end, but nobody was there to hold my hand and tell me that it's okay to feel this way.
It's not meant to not cry.
It's not meant to not cry when they're supposed to cry.
Yeah, those emotions.
It's a natural emotion on how to process different types of feelings. So, I mean, that's strong.
Because now you have to be strong in a relationship.
You have to be strong in a relationship.
You have to be strong for your parents. You have to be strong for your friends. You have to be strong for your work. So how do I break down and become myself if I cannot cry and be vulnerable?
And I'd like to be seen as more than just a black woman that is strong. Seen as a black woman that is soft, a black woman who knows how to communicate, a black woman that can take care of you with a clear mind, and not dealing with the noises from outside that are now brought into my house. When I was like, oh, this person goes to therapy. Do you feel how
life is being with that person?
Let me go to the other room where I'll find peace time. I want to walk in and be the symbol of peace because I've gone through these steps.
Also, it helps you figure out what you like and what you don't like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like discovering yourself, knowing that if you ask me to do something and I don't feel like I want to do it, I can say, no, I do not want to.
And that should be okay.
And that should be okay.
There doesn't need to be justification behind your no.
Yep. Respect.
You know? So like, and then going back to the hypnotherapy.
Yes.
There's just things that you want to forget for the rest of your life.
Ooh.
Not like any traumatic experiences, but like embarrassing things. Like I fell in front of my crush. Like sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night sweating because I'm dreaming about how I fell in front of my crush.
Yes.
Like there's I think hypnotherapy is not so much about forgetting about things, but clearing out that part of the subconscious that follows you around in a negative way. Yeah. So it's nice. It's just sprinkling. September supposedly. Supposed to be sprinkling. So then I get the therapist to do that and sweep my brain of the things that I no longer need. There's memories from like childhood all the way up to now that are unnecessary. I feel like it's blocking my system and
it's so hard.
Let's clear cache and then let's just deal with what is currently going on. Because I want to be able to do things that are fulfilling. Yes. And not worrying about past fears that could be holding me back. Yeah. You know, like the fear of failure. Can I be hypnotized to be the most fearless person What is failure?
What is it?
I don't know what that is.
What is fear in general? What is,
Yeah.
why do we have that? Why is that a part of us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not because it's either you're going to be a brave person
Yes.
that is going to tackle it, or you just could be like, I don't think. And I've had that problem before. I think I still do. I don't want to lie. It's something that I'm trying to process.
Yes.
Where, like, as an example,
Yeah.
it's something that I feel like I enjoy doing.
Yes.
But to actually do it is such a scary thought, because now all the negative flies start coming in, and it's just like, what if you don't get enough views?
Yeah.
What if it bombs? What if you're not giving enough content, and the people behind the scenes, they actually don't enjoy what you're telling them, and they think that you're so boring? So there was a point in time when I was just like, yes, a podcast would be nice, but for other people, because I don't think,
not for us.
yeah, I started playing too much on the idea of don't even start because you will fail, you know?
And that's now discovering yourself and finding out who you are. You're like, let me just do it. If it fails, it fails.
Yes.
Whatever. Like,
You miss 100% of the opportunities that you don't take. So
yeah, absolutely.
this is the one opportunity. Is this the 1% or is this the 99%? Whichever percentage, I'm within that percentile bracket now. And
And
I'm
we're here now.
Yes, I've taken on this challenge. So I'm going to tune in. That's for sure. So do you meditate?
I tried it, and every time when I do meditate, I fall asleep. So I don't know if I do meditate. I don't know if I do meditate or fall asleep or try to meditate. I've tried the whole Zen, and then I'm just out for the night. So I wouldn't really say yes. More like, yeah.
You've tried
I've tried it, but not successful.
Keep trying. I think anything gets better with practice. The old adage, practice makes perfect. So keep trying. I mean, I'm not consistent in meditation, but I do it every now and then. I think the one thing that helped, and I kind of into research, so I was on Pinterest, I was on Google. Actually, I'm on Pinterest like 3/4 of the day, just trying to find inspiration, whether it's working out, eating healthy, all of those things. But with meditation, it helps because you also want to put yourself in a space where there's like outside noise and stuff like that. But I don't have that kind of space, so I heavily rely on my headphones. So there's also different frequencies that you can listen to. I also found that on Pinterest as well. So I think it's like 6 or 7, I can't remember. I do have a screenshot on my phone. But there's different frequencies for the different ways that you want to deal with life, I guess. So there is one for trauma and healing. There's a frequency for that. There is a frequency on repairing your DNA.
Okay.
In like a positive way, of course. I think that's like in a holistic way. Like I'll find the screenshots and then I'll read it out to you. But basically, I've got 2 different frequencies that I listen to. One is to bring back self-love and self-reflection. So that's the one that I focus on a lot when I am meditating. So sometimes I put my headphones on, put them on full blast, obviously, because you want that to like sink into your brain. And then you just do the breathing exercises. So you'll start breathing, and you're breathing a bit slower. And then for me, my personal experience is just like I kind of felt like I'm not there. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I've gotten when I'm properly settled. I'm just like, I'm not sitting like this, but I'm sitting comfortably, where my back is like straight, but I'm leaning against something. So there's that support structure. And then I start breathing, and I'm just like, okay, I feel like I'm sinking into the bed, or like into the yoga mat, or wherever I'm sitting, and then you don't necessarily need to think about anything. It's just focusing on the sounds that are coming into my ears and focusing on my breath. And then you can also imagine yourself expanding and what's the opposite of expanding?
Compressing.
Expanding and compressing with each breath that you take. And I guess if you are going to think about something, just focus on how you want to conduct yourself the next day.
Okay.
You know, like I want to step out of my home feeling a certain way.
So I want to know, like, you know, when you read about meditation, so like, your mind has to be clear, not don't think of anything, don't really focus on anything but your breathing. So you say now that you can actually think of other things besides.
Okay. Do clear your mind, of course, because you want to have that one thing that you're focusing on.
Yes.
But obviously, I mean, your brain is constantly
working.
active.
That's what I always say.
There's a lot of things that are going on. But you know, like it's recognizing my train of thought is going in this direction. I need to bring it back here.
Yes.
I think that is the practice, because if I'm focusing on I'm doing this exercise of meditation right now for the purpose of wanting to be able to motivate myself more in the gym, for example. My train of thought will sometimes be like, as an extra shot or something, I need to make a mental note of that, or like whatever is short in the fridge, whatever. You bring yourself back to, no, let me not focus on the groceries that I need to top up. Let me cut back to this.
Okay.
And I really feel good. I actually need to do more of that.
Yeah. Let's not practicing more. I think I was so in tune with not processing anything in my head.
Yeah, I'm saying something about
sleep. Like I don't process and then I just want to sleep because
it's a bad thing though, because then that also is an indicator. As much as you're trying to focus, your nervous system actually got time to calm down. So even if you were having a bad day and you try to do that meditation, there is a positive outcome. In comparison to and you didn't meditate, sleeping will come. But because you did that, at least your brain is just like, Zaza is trying to take me in a way that is going to calm me down so that I can have my rest for the evening, give myself sleep. So even if you do fall asleep, look, I'm not like a professional or whatever, but I think a professional would say, if you fall asleep, it's fine. You know, like you fell asleep on a good note. It's not like you went to bed angry. So
I was relaxed.
Yeah, you relax, and I do recommend it. Just as much as I recommend the journaling, I recommend the therapy for those who haven't started taking it like myself. But let's meditate. It's about all of these things that we are talking about. It's about finding the best way to be the best version of yourself. It's very important. We live in a world where it's just social media is telling us what to do, and there's the pressures of I want to be like this person. All man's to figure out and
what they're going through.
Yes, so now you're putting your unnecessary pressure on yourself to be like the next person. Just let's breathe.
Yes. Is that what you would tell your yourself?
Actually yes, because my younger self was so focused on people pleasing and just looking good. I walked around with this mask of making sure that it is smiling for the crowd
and not for yourself.
And internally I was just like, dude, I'm not having a good time right now. Like I feel like I needed to, like as soon as I got out of bed, I had my breakfast, whatever, I got ready to go outside. Like I could be feeling absolutely shit when I'm inside. But then the minute I walk out the gate, it's like a switch. And then even the way that my posture is just like, my posture needs to be presented in a way that makes other people around me feel good. You know, and that's exhausting. That's so tiring.
You're not processing anything.
Yes.
Everyone else.
And then then you don't know how, and then I later realized you hold your emotions and trauma in your shoulders. So if there's tension here, it's because you're basically being a fake version of yourself.
Sure.
So do all those necessary things to come back to yourself, and then you realize it's in a corner. You kind of you should stop being here by your ears. And I've also come across a random post when I was like doom scrolling on social media.
Yes.
And it was saying, right now, unclench your jaw, lower your shoulders, and remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And I didn't realize I was doing all of those things. And then there was like a small paragraph at the bottom. I showed Ruti, a lot of times we are holding onto emotions subconsciously, and it affects our physicality.
Yeah.
So that helped me share my
I think the same with my younger self. I'd definitely say to my younger self, relax more.
Yes.
Stop being a people pleaser. It's not going to help you discover yourself or change any narrative that people assume of you.
I think a lot of people
really people have their opinions on you. So remove that and really focus on who you are in order to discover eventually who Zaza is or Sisa is or anyone else out there is. So for me it would be just to really focus and be who you are immediately. So people will either like you for you or not,
But you're getting rid of the rubbish that you don't like.
Yes, because they're not good for you anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just...
Absolutely. You don't about 20, but you only have those 20 people who are your friends because of the fake you.
Yes.
And if you were authentic, you'd have only like 3 friends. But those 3 friends, they
know you in and out.
It's quality over quantity. Like I can have 3 friends in my life, and I know that we've got each other's back, and they accept me for exactly who I am. No, what's in campus is feeling everything. Like I can really in pumping them if you know who I am. You're not going to judge me for that. But a group of people like, okay, girl, then now how you conduct yourself. So now this becoming self-aware, it helps with really aligning myself with the values and morals that I guess will also instill with me. These are cooler. So it's going back to the self that is supposed to be shown to the world, like authentically. If I do a quality check on myself, I think I'd pass. I'd pass the quality check in comparison to others. So I'd rather like enjoy that manje. It's better to show who you are, and then the people that stick around are the people that stay around. Otherwise, why? We don't need extra people. We don't need friends. Please. Sorry. I think that's a wrap. Is it? Can I say it?